All right, let's speak now to the EFF's Mazwi Blose, who is, of course, reacting to this particular story. Mazwi, good evening to you, and thank you so much for your time. So, if one were to go through what you've written there on your X, page, you are saying that there are some concerns you're raising, particularly when it comes to the MK party's handling of this particular matter and their reaction to this. Just tell us more.
Well, no, I think for us is an issue of principle, is to say we must not then be irritated or drive our personal feelings into the processes of Parliament. Firstly, well, yesterday when we had the physical sittings in Parliament, I was highly disappointed by the MK party, who were singing the same tune of calling for the arrest of the former CEO of Letsoalo, notwithstanding that their president was subjected to the same treatment not so long ago when he had reasons saying that he didn't want to appear in a state commission of inquiry for this reason or the other, and he ended up in jail for those reasons. So all I was saying is that we need to be patient with the process, apply our minds, apply the law, and follow all the legal prescripts, but not use feelings and irritations from outside of Parliament to want to drive the processes of Parliament.
Who's using personal feelings?
Well, if you look at today's sittings in particular, mostly guys from the DA, Action SA, the ANC, and all of them, they were calling for the process to be expedited. How do you expedite a process of Parliament? How do you expedite a process of law? Because they are saying that Letsoalo has defied summons. He's contesting that he's even received those summons. And the court today at Scopa was saying that we need to speed up the process of the criminal charges. We need to make sure that he's in jail. He must be arrested tomorrow. No, you do not flout processes of Parliament or processes of law just because you feel irritated or agitated by an individual. We must be able to sit down as a committee, look at the rules of Parliament, look at what the law guides us. Irregardless of our feelings and our irritation, we must follow the law to the T so that we protect the integrity of Parliament, but also we protect the integrity of Scopa in Parliament.
Yeah, and I know that you say that follow the law to the letter, so guide us here as to what is supposed to happen, because as you've alluded to yesterday in conversation with Clement, our colleague, for example, he says, there is Mr. Letsoalo, that he's shocked to hear that they're looking for him because nobody has actually made him aware that they're looking for him. But then he continues to, voice what he has to say about the process, which I'll ask you about in just a moment. But also, in conversation recently, even with the Scopa chair, he was speaking about the fact that they were looking for him. There was an address that they were given, and they simply could not locate him at that particular address. So what does then the law dictate should happen now, according to where you sit?
No, look, we actually have a person who is legal from Parliament at our Scopa meetings. And this is exactly the point that I was raising today with the chairperson of Scopa, to say that we are a committee of public accounts. We don't deal with issues of the law. Even these summons that are issued to Letsoalo are not the summons of the committee. They are summons of Parliament. They were issued by the Speaker of Parliament. They are not ours. So we cannot then dictate what the law must prescribe. So the legal opinion said to us that this is unprecedented. It has never happened before. They themselves are not sure. That the legal lady even said that we need to advise the Speaker to go and lay criminal charges against Letsoalo. And if we are making a mistake about that, then it's a learning curve for us. And we don't agree with that. We think that the Parliament must look at this matter, the Speaker must look at this matter, and I even advise that all that Scopa needs to do now is to write a report to the Speaker and say, Speaker, you've issued summons, this guy has not honored the summons, you must take a decision as the Speaker of Parliament, advised by your legal body to say what then becomes the next step. Because us as a committee, we do not enter on things of legal jurisdiction. It is not our mandate. Therefore, we cannot take a decision to go and criminally charge someone. It's not within the mandate of Scopa. It's not within our powers or privileges, or it doesn't even fall within our scope. And that's exactly what we are guiding against.
So he sounds like a man who doesn't want to partake in that particular process, describing it in one way or another, including a kangaroo court, he's calling it. So how then do you ensure that he is then going to appear before the committee, because it sounds like he may not be interested in that process?
Well, Collins has written a long legal letter to the Speaker, has written that same letter to the chair of the committee, to the Legal of Parliament, and is contesting a whole lot of things there. And I think then Parliament will need to address that because, like I'm saying, those things are now outside of the jurisdiction of SCOPA. They are legal matters. If then the Speaker then feels strongly that outside of these summons with the legal letters, then the lawyers of Parliament must deal with the lawyers of the former CEO, and then let the courts then give that ruling. If we need to go to court and get a court order to get him to come to SCOPA, then Parliament must do that. But remember, as SCOPA, we are not an independent body in Parliament. We don't do things our own. We are under the umbrella of Parliament, and our supervisor or our superior is the Speaker of Parliament. So if we need to take Collins Letsoalo to court, it is not going to be SCOPA that's going to be litigating against him. It's going to be the Speaker of Parliament, and the Speaker of Parliament must make the determination.
Quickly, before I let you go, you're right. Today we are witnessing a similar pattern with SCOPA in Parliament, which appears visibly irritated by Letsoalo in an attempt to appease white capital interests. Who's that?
Who's what? White interests?
White capital interests. Who represents that?
Now, let me tell you, we've got a guy there who's by the name of Kernel, who the former CEO accused that he had taken 2.2 billion from RAF. He sits in our meetings on the daily. I even asked the chair of the committee to say, what is this guy doing here? In every meeting he's in SCOPA to come and guard his interest. And those are the people that are protected. Discovery right now is looking to take 1.5 billion rand from SCOPA, from RAF, I mean, because they are claiming that they are claiming on behalf of their clients. We've got a hospital that came crying at SCOPA saying that they've closed operations because RAF stopped paying their money. Those are all the white interests that have got the interest in this thing, and that's these DA and other political parties are appeasing their masters because and trying to, the people who are trying to loot RAF. 500 million rand has been taken by Discovery every year. 2.2 million has went to Gretner. He sits with us in the committee. He's not even a member of Parliament, but is allowed to sit with us on every day. Those are the white interests that are being represented in that scope.
Mazwi, appreciate your time. Let's see then what happens with this particular story and how Parliament begins to handle this particular one. Appreciate your time. That's Mazwi Blose from the Economic Freedom Fighters.